Meow.
Hello YouTubers and random people of the internet, it is me, Ozzy, one half of the Monster Supreme YouTube channel, and I'm just getting the video up on my phone so I can see the comments, but I doubt there will be any because it's early in the morning. There we go, so we are going to be commentating on Dominion of the Cybermen. Now, what I mean by that is very self-explanatory. I don't know why I have to say that, but this is an unedited video, so who knows, I might go in afterwards and edit it, but probably not. So, yeah, I'm just going to be talking about what went into the film, how I made certain things, why things were removed, and it's going to be a very in-depth video of the film, so if you have a short attention span, like everybody who watches YouTube, myself included, then this probably isn't the video for you, but if you're interested in how films are made, and behind the scenes and stuff like that, then do stick around, because I'm going to try and cover everything. I'm going to try and get this done by the end of the hour, because my parents are going to be home soon, because I still live with my parents, because I'm a sad nerd. And I completely forgot to test this, actually. One sec. No. Sorry, guys. Ah, there you go. So you can see me in the top left-hand corner. Right, so let's get the thing open. YouTube. I probably should edit this afterwards. But it's alright. Videos. Oh, we hit 210, guys. Do you think I should do a competition for like 250? Right, I do apologise that I'm kind of doing this on a whim. Maybe I should have. There we go. So, right, we've got the film up ready. I won't really need much audio because I have already seen this thing a billion times. So yeah, a bit of backstory before we go into it. I've said this so many goddamn times, but not on this channel. This originally started production in 2017. The goal was to make a thriller, home invasion, Cyberman thriller, like quite akin to. Well, the Village thing was kind of like from the M. Night Shyamalan Village thing. I'd never actually seen it. I've seen bits of it, but I've never seen the whole thing. So it was that kind of suspense kind of thing. But the thing is, we realised that we didn't really have many cast members, so it made production very difficult. We struggled to get actors, and we cut out a lot. I'll talk about the deleted scenes as I go along. What else can I say? So yeah, the home invasion thriller part never actually happened. It just got resorted to Max getting hit in the neck by a Cyberman. And yeah, the original cut was about an hour long almost, and now I've cut it down to 35 minutes, so that should tell you how much has been removed. I'm very happy with this edit overall, but let's get into it. I'll stop yibber yabbering, and we'll just get into it. I do apologise about the audio quality, it's not great, but it's what it is. More Supreme production. Dominion of the Cybermen. Just turn the volume down a little bit, actually. This is from a Sonic game. It's Never Turn Back. And look, you can see me in the background. Okay, so this montage thing originally was filmed in my old village, and the SD card got corrupted. We did quite a nice little montage of Lewis begging outside of the co-op, and that was really cool. I'm going to turn the volume down, actually, because I can't hear myself. And this sequence was originally a hell of a lot longer. It started off with a fire of Lewis rubbing his hands to the fire, but that got deleted because purely timing. I think this whole Trevor segment was about 6 or 7 minutes originally, and I've cut it down to about 3. So I've cut out quite a lot. I thought that there was a colour hue on this originally. Is it just my laptop looking funny? Oh yeah, there is. I do apologise. So me and Lewis filmed this just by ourselves, and to be honest, I think for what it is, it turned out really well. Just 2 people in the woods. Got some really nice shots, I think. This was meant to obviously symbolise that he has a daughter, and I just wanted that little bit of emotional weight to the character before he got killed off. I mean, it's really obvious that he was going to get killed off, because that's just a horror cliche. The overdubbing, we could never get it right. It still sounds like it's overdubbed. because the audio was unusable. I'm sure for anybody who's really done short films themselves will know that outside filming is such a pain. You do end up having to overdub stuff. It's really annoying. Even big Hollywood productions have to do it as well. Even with the best microphones in the world, there are still issues. That shot I'm really proud of. I still think that's a really cool shot. The original Trevor montage, if you go check out the making of documentary, go check that out before you watch the rest of this video actually. Trevor was drunk in the original thing, but since we watched it back and it was kind of funny because Lewis had never been drunk and he couldn't really do drunk acting, so we did it so he was just a depressed homeless dude. There we cut out a part where he's stomping in the mud and hearing like Sideman footsteps all around him. Kind of suspense bit, but to be honest it went on for about 2 minutes and it just wasn't needed in the end. I kind of just cut it out. I can't hear it all. There we go. Yeah. All this handheld stuff, I mean, it could be like ambiguous as to whether it's one Cyberman or many. And that's the thing about the Cyberman in this scene. I do kind of... my friend Harry Moorcroft pointed this out to me. Scribbled Screens. Check his YouTube channel out. He pointed out that the Cyberman being shown too early was a bit... I don't know, wasn't great. And I do agree. But at the same time, it's one of those things you watch in a Cyberman film. The Cybermen are in the thumbnail, so I'm in 2 minds about whether it was a good idea or not. The overdubbing here is pretty bad, actually, but I love this handheld stuff, like the janky movement. I think it worked really well. It's like a setting on the camera, and I can't remember which setting we used. So here we have Max, whose eyes were meant to be like bruised from when he was attacked as a kid, but obviously none of us were really good at prosthetic work, so that never really happened, which is kind of unfortunate. In the original cut we did it so Max had glass eyes, and it just didn't really fit the narrative of the story. To be honest though, the blind stuff now, it doesn't really alter the story at all, it just is what it is. We did the blind stuff pretty badly, because Max was able to maneuver himself around everywhere and it just didn't really work. I mean, it doesn't look like a blind person's house either, it just looks like my house, which is a shame. And I like that phone shot, by the way. We cut out a sofa bit where Max was eating cereal, which is there was no reason to keep that in. It was pretty terrible. I used Donna Noble's theme tune here because it was just upbeat and just kind of matched Eric's personality. And you can see the camera in the glass of the door. Is anyone watching? Probably not. But. I really did choose the wrong time to do this, didn't I? I like this transition when he closes the door and it cuts to the cup of tea thing being lifted.
So,
and this is one of our filming days where it was just the 3 of us. I think we filmed Uncle Barty as well on this day. I could be wrong. But me, Lewis and Mana did used to actively make a lot of films back in the day. We're wanting to make another one at the moment. I just have to write the script and then it's going.
It's just because the city was horrible for me. Now,
these scenes were filmed on different days. Mana's Max lines were filmed one day and mine were filmed on another. I had to try and match the lighting in post-production, which was a bit of a bitch. It was really annoying, but I think it worked pretty well. It's pretty seamless. The only thing is my line delivery is very different to how it was in the original day, and it is kind of a little bit disjointed because of that.
But now with work and everything, I don't think I'd have the time.
well, that's a shame.
Where is it you work? I could have literally quote this whole thing, I'm not gonna.
Probably the only interesting thing that's been happening since I last saw you.
I'm sure that's not true. You're always full of
Max's stuff is handheld, mine's static.
Yeah.
Because I'm the more calm and reserved character, and Max obviously has a little bit of a difficult life. Although Max seems pretty capable of doing things by himself without
Can I use your bathroom?
a guide dog or anything. And you can see the difference in hair length
Well,
on me
the
as well.
cat's done a massive
I promise this isn't just going to be me criticising it. I really don't like this shot. I mean, I like the laughing bit, I think that's funny, but I just really hate the backdressing. Maybe that's like reminiscent of how a blind person's house would be, but it's annoying. We cut out a bit where Max's TV was going on static, because the original thing of the movie was meant to be Max's vision was linked to the Cybermen. So Max would always have these visions of people getting butchered and things like that. But it didn't really translate well into the film, and I just decided to cut it.
And another tree.
I actually originally cut this out in the edit, and I've just put it back in because I just wanted it to seem like they were friends. And obviously, Eric dying would have been a bit more impactful. This film is absolutely riddled with plot holes, so don't really take it too seriously, which is kind of... I shouldn't really be asking you to do that, but yeah.
It's a nice break from all the noise of the city, though, I suppose.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Dun, 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 dun. I love this wide. We actually got some really nice wides in this film. I think we did achieve quite a lot on a visual perspective.
Right, there's a bench. Sit down.
Hey, Eric.
I think it's one of those things, because we don't actually see the Max attack scene anymore, this scene doesn't really hold up as well, because the emotional weight just isn't really there. It's there later in like a dream sequence. You probably didn't realise that was Max, you probably just thought it was a normal kid.
What is it then, mate?
But since I got rid of that plot, it just doesn't really add up. And you can see the script in Hannah's sunglasses.
It's been so long since that happened.
The Father's Day theme tune, if you're wondering.
You told me it was some kind of eye infection.
That was a lie.
What?
I was attacked. And, long story short, the culprit was never found.
You were attacked and you didn't tell me?
There isn't really that much for me to comment on this. It's quite
We were. And hopefully still are. But I didn't want anyone making a fuss out of it.
10 years on. Can't turn back time now. But why didn't you say anything?
I'm sorry, the whole thing was just so fast.
It's quite funny because there was just three of us. We'd have Lewis operating the camera, holding the boom, telling us our lines. Truly the MVP of this film. Lewis literally pretty much did more than we gave him credit for. So
but different. Just last night I dreamt about a homeless guy being attacked, just like I was. I keep waking up
terrified.
I
I bet.
But remember, it was just a dream.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Come on.
Because we were in a village, we were able to get some pretty nice looking shots with like the greenery and stuff. I mean, could you imagine if we lived in a city doing this film? It would have turned out pretty terrible. And I love this wide as well. I just love the composition of like the stream contrasted with the long grass. I just think it works really well. You can see my old house.
Hey, what's that? Blocking my path?
This was pretty much a nightmare to edit because there were so many goddamn shots with the tripod like in the corner of the frame. I don't think you ever notice it in this edit, but in the old one you could see it. I think we came up with about 4 different locations for this scene, and we finally settled on this. I think it looks really good. It really does highlight the characters, because like the brown of like the dead grass kind of draws attention to the
Eric?
characters.
What is it?
I like putting an emphasis on colour in my films.
Well, it's
No
not
easy
easy
way to say
this,
this.
but
You found a body.
I think we found a body.
What? Like a dog or something?
A bit bigger than a dog.
It's a person. I was thinking of doing a remix of Mana saying it's a person. It's a person. Because I just thought it was funny.
It's a person.
And the funny thing is, we never got a proper blind person's walking stick. We always used like my dad's
Oh no.
mountain stick for the walking.
We can't leave it here. We've got to tell the police.
Beep beep
Wait,
beep. Beep.
they won't think we did it, will they? I can't go to jail. I've got too much to live for.
That line made Max to feel like a humorous character, and the toilet wine thing later. But there's never really any indication of Max being a funny character, apart from those two lines. It was kind of quite jarring. Oh, and the chest piece was like a Tuxedo 10th Doctor action figure box with wires stuck into it. And also, I don't know if you noticed, the morph suit didn't really have much dirt on it either, so it was very clean, which is kind of annoying.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Eric. What's this I'm holding?
Looks like the poor buggers come from hospital. The gowns and everything, but what? There isn't a hospital for miles.
So after this was originally meant to be a police scene, which you can see in the making of documentary. The reason it was cut is because obviously I played a police officer and I played Eric at the same time, and it just didn't work whatsoever. Oh god, oh god, oh god. And we cut this scene short as well. In the beginning of the next one, we cut out all of the police stuff apart from just a wide shot, because it's not really obvious that it's me. Yeah, here. I mean, you can tell it's myself and Mana, but it doesn't linger on it too much. This was done in the TV studio at college, which is quite. I think it worked really well for the scene.
Do you know this man?
You can tell it's a school table, but it's funny. And I had my friend Rob overdub the "Is there something wrong? Do you know this man?" because originally it was me saying the line, so I had to get someone else to do it.
Can't believe that.
This scene is cut short a lot as well.
Knew what?
The thing is with this edit is a lot of stuff was cut out purely for pacing issues. If I'd have shown you the original film, you probably wouldn't have watched much of it. You probably would have got really bored. I haven't mentioned the Eugene stuff. There was a character in it called Professor Eugene, which I played, which was in charge of nanotechnology research, and the plan was to turn humans into Sidemen through nanotechnology. It kind of did work in the film, but at the same time it didn't. It contrasted very much with what was going on, but it did link to why Max lost his vision, so I guess that's probably... It's a shame that it got cut, but it just didn't quite fit with this film. Oh yeah, this was originally meant to be in black and white, but I found the colour footage and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to put it in colour because it just looks nice. Kill me. And this was obviously off of the hype of the World Enough in Time film. So this film coming out now, it hasn't got as many views as it would have done if I had released it after Series 10, because it was very much riding off of the hype of that series. And I don't really know how I feel about the suit, well, the patient outfit being really clean in this. I think it's quite a nice like juxtaposition to the background, but at the same time it just looks a little bit too pristine to have been out in the woods all night. Maybe if there were like a blood splatter on it somewhere. And also the patient going rabid, and being able to run doesn't really make any sense if you watch World Enough in Time, because obviously they're like damaged humans which are being repaired, so it doesn't really make sense, but it makes for a fun chase sequence, I think. We filmed this with how many people? Myself, Mahana, Lewis, and James. We filmed it with 4 people, and it actually turned out pretty well. If only we'd have done the whole film with 4 people. Oh, that shot was way too cold, oversaturated. But yeah, the amount of shots we got and the yellow bag was visible in the background, that was so infuriating. And originally Mana came up to the camera with her Crocs on, and you could see him there. I had to cut that out of the film. It was a nice continuous shot, but her Crocs were just so obvious and so visible. It was quite hilarious. And obviously, Eric ringing Blake wasn't originally meant to be intended, because as a joke, I was called Eric in Lewis's contacts, and then as soon as I rung Lewis, it was you could see the Eric title, and we said, oh shit, we're gonna have to rewrite this part so Eric knows who Blake is, because originally it was just meant to be another dead body. This scene was filmed later as well. This scene was filmed just a couple of months ago, because I didn't like the fact that the entire shot lingered on Max and you didn't see Eric's reactions. And this footage was pretty unsalvageable, because you can see how pixely it is, because I had to turn up the brightness because the shot was originally really dark. And Eric is a Gary Newman fan, by the way. Sorry, my throat's so tickly.
You're supposed to be my friend, Max. Start acting like it.
Eric, you're my only hope of getting to the bottom of
It's funny how this was filmed 2 years later, but it still works. You can see that I've aged a bit, but
we need to find out who's behind this.
Alright. This time you're gonna be straight with me.
yeah, because when he didn't see Eric's emotions, it didn't really
I'm sorry.
have much weight, didn't the scene? But I feel now it actually works a little bit better.
I swear. Anyway, bring lunch.
Got a killer to find. I was originally wanting to integrate Sideman ship scenes. I think they were in the original script actually, of 2 humanoids have been sighted in the forest. Go seek them out, but it didn't really suit the suspense. But at the same time, the Sidemen are barely in this film. So that's probably why the average view duration is about 4 minutes, because the Sidemen are barely in it. But I wanted this film to focus more on Max and Eric than the Cybermen, which I know people on YouTube will get pissed off about, because I just want Cybermen. But at the same time, you got to remember, I'm making a short film. I'm not making a Cyberman short film. I'm just making a short film. That's another reason I didn't put Doctor Who fan film on the end of it, because if I'd have done that, it would have like indicated that it was just Doctor Who, and people would have expected the Doctor in it, and they would have been disappointed. We have to figure out. And it's kind of annoying now we just got side shots of me. It's because I didn't direct Lewis properly. I should have said, can you get some at a similar angle to Mana's shots? But oh well. And to indicate the passage of time, I tinted the colour to a more blue thing to make it like later in the day and darken the shot a little bit. I think it actually works. I don't know why that idea never occurred to me in the original cut, because the shot had no colour correction originally.
Can you hear that?
Hear what?
Shut up and listen.
Oh, I've got the fade to white because I'm too lazy to do any actual visual effects. But yeah, this really doesn't work now that I took out the Eugene stealing Max's eyes scene. Oh, we've got a viewer. Hello, viewer.
Max. Wake up.
Halt.
Halt. You
You should have seen my original voice for the film. It was pretty awful, so I had to ask for someone to do it, and Wade did a fantastic job. Thank you very much, Wade. It actually makes it feel more like Cyberman as opposed to my original voice. And I do like the metal clang against the suit, because if it had just done it without that clang, it would have just looked really cheap. And the chest unit is made from a box file, spray painted silver with some mesh added, so there you go. And you can see Lewis's pockets from his jeans, for God's sake. I am kind of happy with this Cyberman costume, because it's like in between 10th Planet and World Enough Time. I think it has like a nice creepy look to it.
What's going on?
Just run.
But it would always like fall off of Lewis's head, so we'd always like have to try and like balance it, like the headpiece, which was quite funny.
The humans have escaped. What are my orders?
This scene, I am still really like Lewis falling from the tree. I think it works really well.
It's gone. For the time being, anyway.
Doof. What was it?
What is it?
Don't tell me. It's not.
Wait a minute.
I never really talked about the forest setting. I just always thought the Cybermen and forests were never really done. Well, I mean, it was done in the Doctor Falls, but I mean, that was just ridiculous. And I think having like a horror with the Sidemen in the woods was always a really cool idea. And that's kind of where the inspiration came from. Well, the inspiration for this film, if you've made it this far, then well done into the video. The inspiration for this film came from Chris Stuckman's horror film that he made when he was about 18. And I just love that idea so much about a blind guy in the woods. I kind of just stole it and put Cybermen in it. On paper, it sounds like a terrible idea, but it has potential. But I don't think I executed the blind thing very well. Just kind of a shame. Say hi in the chat if you're watching. Hello, 3 people. Ask some questions. I might answer some questions at the end of the video. And did you watch the film? Let me know. And what did you think? Because I like hearing feedback on my stuff, because there's nothing more annoying than when you put so much time. We put 3 years into this film, almost. And to get 3 comments, it is heartwarming, but at the same time it's kind of annoying, because I have the right to sound ungrateful for the lack of comments, because we put so much work into it. This is meant to be young Max. I don't know whether this was very obvious. Yeah, Ash met up with us for a day of filming and just happened to fit the requirements for a young Max, so that was really cool. So we got this scene done. It's been put in black and white because it's kind of ambiguous as to whether it's actually real or not. In the original cut, I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't keep this in, actually. That's Professor Eugene, who crashed to Earth from Mondas. And his eyes burnt out, and he stole Max's eyes as a child. And there's a shot of Eugene holding Max's eyes, and it looks really brutal. It's kind of a shame I just didn't put it in because the arc never got resolved in the end, so I just took it out. And this scream was actually taken from the scene with Blake, and I just rearranged it. There's actually quite a lot of rearranging that happened in this edit to make things fit properly. I spent so much time trying to get this right, and hopefully I did. This scene went on for a lot longer originally, but I had to cut it. Because it's like, oh, the only entertaining part of the film is The Simpsons. And this was done in Lewis's house. We had dogs in there just because I don't own dogs, and I've never been a dog person, so I thought, well, Eric is probably a dog person, so let's put the dogs in it. And I made sure that I kept that line in. Must defeat guy I just met. That sounds like Cyberman if it was Homer. And I got free pizza in this, so I mean I can't really complain. It's kind of weird how dynamic we made this look. And it works with the suspense music as well. It was just going around to Lewis's house for an evening and like, oh, should we film this scene here? Like, yeah, sure. We were originally wanting to get Eric and Max's parents
Just a
in
minute.
this film, but it never came to fruition because,
Alright, I'm coming.
I don't know, it just never suited the tone of the film. Honestly, this has changed so much from the original script. You have no idea. It's kind of a shame that you can tell that's a Sideman, but I couldn't really do anything to that shot. I don't know who that is watching.
Play instrumental.
Say hello. Play instrumental playlist, because in the original test footage we did, Mana put on one of her playlists and it was copyrighted, and it blocked the video. Because you know there's two types of copyright. There's copyright where the owners of the music just say fine, you can upload it but we make the money, but then there's the other copyright where you upload it and it's like blocked in all countries, and it was blocked everywhere, so that was quite funny. It's weird because when we originally made this scene we were really proud of it, but to be honest now I think it's a real letdown considering the original plan we had. It just feels like a really anticlimactic thing to happen to the character, but at the same time the Cybermen are a force which can't be stopped, so I guess that's what this scene kind of portrays. And it's like a continuity error, like why does the Cyberman have footsteps in every other scene apart from this one? Okay, so this scene is in such low quality because I accidentally deleted the high-res version and I only had this bit to work with, which was quite irritating. And also why Max's eyes not bruised like they were in the first scene, because we did not know what we were doing. And credit to Mana though, she had to do this whole thing with her eyes closed, so it's pretty crazy. This was also done at college, and the fan would vary in loudness, which is really annoying, so I ended up having to put like a constant background hum to indicate a spaceship, so you couldn't really hear the fan as much. And I don't really like how short the patient costumes are, because you can see Lewis's legs and it's kind of quite annoying. This scene was a fucking nightmare to edit because I had to put pain in there every time that the button was pressed, which was extremely irritating. I like this shot actually, not gonna lie. Hey.
I think we're on the ship.
Yeah, I'll go through the original ending. The original ending for this film, Max was supposed to confront the cyber leader and say, "You've killed my friend, I'm going to kill you." Well, maybe not quite like that, but it was originally meant to be like a confrontation scene, and then Max would break down, start having visions of his eyes being torn out as a child, and the cyber leader took Max's eyes and used them to restore his vision, so which means that Max's eyes are connected to every Cyberman and like that whole telepathic web kind of thing, which I think as an idea isn't too bad, but obviously issues with production. The main issues with production were the fact that our schedules just did not line up whatsoever. Every time we got to film was just so lucky because it was like we finally got a day off together, the three of us, and towards the end we all got really tired of the film, myself included. It was my passion project, it was my baby, but at the same time I was just so sick of it, and stuff just went south from there, which was a shame. Looking back, if I were to tell my younger self advice about this film, I'd say lock the script, don't make any changes, because that was the biggest problem that we had. We changed the script too much from the original one, and we kept adding stuff and filming more things and thinking, oh, this is going to be really cool. And then it just didn't work, so.
I promise.
Advice about this film. Honestly, there's another person watching and I'm dying to know who it is. Please can you tell me who you are, because I just want to know who you are.
Stay with me, stay with me.
Notice how I keep breathing after the flatline, but we just don't mention that. I'm still happy with the composition of this scene because I think it's kind of ambiguous as to how many patients are actually in here. Because of the way we filmed it, the focus was only on Eric. And so there could have been like an entire room full of patients and you don't really have your eyes drawn to that, so that was a creative decision. I know I'm inflating my ego, but I am kind of very happy with the way this film came out and the direction choices I had, because a lot was meticulously planned for the first time ever.
Number 47 requires immediate assistance.
Any excuse to wear black eye makeup, and I did it.
I'm not leaving him.
It's a real shame, like the contrast of quality between these bits, which are HD, and then this bit, which is quite obviously not HD. But there's nothing we can do about it. I'm sure it's alright if you watch it on mobile, or if you watch it on your big TV as well. But yeah, watching it on computers, it really doesn't do it justice. This wasn't Mana, this was me, because Mana was unavailable at the time when we filmed this, because I think her schedule was really, really busy, and we just had to get this scene done, because we were like, if we don't film it now, then we're never going to get it done. So yeah, and that smile was Professor Eugene, which I would like to explore in a sequel. In the original thing, well, I say the original ending was a cyber leader, then the next ending was Eugene confronting Max, saying that he stole Max's vision. And there was quite... Oh, I didn't put that in the deleted scenes, oh shit. I think there might be a behind the scenes part 2 actually, because I found a lot more behind the scenes stuff. Right, I'm going to put it back onto me. There we go. So yeah, I don't really know what to say. There we go. I'm going to lie back because my back really hurts. Yeah, overall, I'm happy with the Cyberman film. I think it turned out, considering release it, but to be honest, yeah, it's not going to be something that is particularly good. I don't know where my words are going. I want to keep streaming, but I don't really know what else to say. And yeah, oh my god, that second person. Please, just say hello, whoever you are. Please, please. Right, I think I should probably end this because I'm just going to keep going. So, wait, why does it say 30 seconds? Did this just start a new stream? I don't know. So, yeah. Anything else to comment? Oh, okay, I'm wrong by somebody. I should probably go now, actually. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll